Bless you, brothers and sisters. Okay, so I have another word for you for the week, and this is part of this whole session of I am Onesimus, meaning I am useful. But before I do that, I want to give you guys a challenge. And the challenge is for you guys to give me a word or a sentence of something that you want to talk about or that you want me to talk about in general, a topic, so that I could kind of cater to you guys, but at the same time, kind of broaden your minds. Maybe areas that you're conflicted in, or areas that you're thinking about, and you're wondering, what is this really about? Or I don't know too much about this. So I would give that challenge to you to at least write that down on the page there, and just comment on it, and so that I can know what you would like me to discuss. Try to help you out whichever way I can. I don't want this to be a one-way street where I'm the one who's bringing forth things, even though it's things that are helpful and useful. But I would like to talk or discuss or bring words on things that are things that you think about in general. So make it brief and simple. So now let's talk about the word of the day. The word of the day is going to be something that I dealt with for many, many years, and the word is regret. For many years, I dealt with many different situations that were complicated. What I feel like they were complicated to me. One of those is a friend of mine. Her name was Amy, and we went to high school together. We had a real good time, a good friendship, and then many years of me getting caught up in the nonsense in the streets and stuff like that kind of split us apart. And then I ended up seeing her again years later, and she was, you could just tell that she was strung out and messed up in life in general. And I was in a car with a friend. My friend didn't want to pull over, and I wasn't persistent either. So that was my opportunity to help her, because I haven't seen her in many years, and I was looking for her, and I heard she was looking for me too. And I didn't take the opportunity that time when I saw her. And unfortunately, a month later, she ended up passing away. So I lived with that regret, because I felt like I had the opportunity to possibly make some things right, and being a friend, and helping her in her difficult situations. But I didn't. So I lived with that regret for quite some time. And regret has a very creepy way of kind of hindering you and hurting you if you don't deal with it right. And the thing is, this is one thing that I learned about regret is that you don't have to make that your final decision. You should live every day like it's your last. I don't mean partying, enjoying life, and acting all wild. I'm talking about kind of closing a chapter on many things in your life, and kind of leaving things unsaid. I mean, things wrapped up and done. I think a perfect example of that, and this is, he wasn't too much of a role model, but he did a good job in the music industry, and meaning he left a very big legacy in Tupac. A lot of people don't know that, even though he passed away because he was murdered, but he had at least 200 and something songs written out with music and all that played out into it in his time frame. And so he looked ahead, and he didn't want to live in that point of regret where he didn't leave every word that he wanted to say out in the air like some artists did. But he allowed his life to bring forth some words, and he left a very, very big legacy. And I feel that if you're gonna get past the regret process, you have to kind of like live like today's your last day, and kind of like leave everything out there, and just kind of like close those chapters in your life, whether it's you asking for forgiveness or receiving forgiveness, or kind of like mending relationships and things of that nature. And um, and if you don't, you're gonna live in situations that other people are living in. Regret has its others is just side effects to it, and one of those, it could kill you, or it could kill you mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, and it can also kill your purpose in life. And many people who live in that kind of situation find themselves paralyzed, and they can't even move forward. And I would not want you to be in that kind of situation. Uh, but regret can also bring out and motivate the best in you. You know, look at the situation I'm in with a friend passing away many years ago, and I've kind of vowed to myself that I would not let this regret get the best of me, and that I would take the opportunity that sees and speak to people and reach out to them in a way that I didn't do with Amy. So you see, I flipped this regret around and turned it into a positive, and now you see me speaking to you, and as well as I spoke to many other people to kind of transform lives. So you know, seize the opportunity when it comes to the situation, you know, of regret, and rather than be caught in that situation of regret, seize the opportunity to reach out to those that you know that you could help, and if you can't, then at least you tried. And another thing about one thing that I want you to know is that I would not want you to be in a position where you're in regret of not knowing who God is. And I believe that the only way to really know who He is to put some time and effort into Him, understanding Him, and reading a good book. You know, some that you may not be thinking about, but I would not want you to live in regret. And if I just ask you, you know, really take your time to at least read the book, the Bible, and just kind of ask yourself the question, because the Bible is Him speaking to you, and just kind of read and take for what it is, and kind of make that something to apply to your life for this year and this new year coming in. And I guarantee you that if you put that into your life, you will not be living in regret, and you definitely will be blessed.